Good morning, guys. It's Kelly and Crystal, and we are ready for another awesome week of Learn to Blog information. We come to you guys every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time here on Google+, and our videos then go over to YouTube. You can follow us on the hashtag LearnToBlog. You can also find us at our website, LearnToBlogHangouts.com, and we now have a VIP forum too, which you can get to from LearnToBlogHangouts.com/VIP. So, and over there, we are holding your hand and teaching you how to grow your blog. So, I'm Crystal, Dallas Mom Blogger at CrystalAndComp.com. Yes, ma'am.
But the forum is currently down.
Sorry, the forum is currently down. We had Kelly and I share a server, and it's just us on the server. But we've now got so much stuff going on over there. Actually, there were bots that kind of caused some issues today. So we're never down anymore since we've been on this server and on a dedicated server. And now this morning we had some issues, but the forum is the last thing to come back up. So this morning, for some reason. So that's what our host is working on that diligently. But anyway, you can find us in all of those places. And today we're going to talk about Twitter. So like I said, I'm Crystal at the Dallas Mom Blog, CrystalAndComp.com. I've been blogging for 6 years. Kelly and I have been coming to you each week with these Hangouts for a year and a half. And we have tons of topics that we've covered. And actually, Twitter was our very first topic that we covered back in February of 2013. And it's time to revisit it because we actually have a Facebook group that's 1,100 people large, and out of those 1,100 people, there are lots of you guys that are not using Twitter, don't know how to use Twitter, don't know why you should use Twitter, want to learn more about it. You've been denied for opportunities because you don't have a following there. So it's time to talk about this again. And the longer you blog, the quicker you realize things are always changing in this world. So, all right, Miss Kelly, introduce yourself. I'm sorry, did you just put food in your mouth? Kelly starts today. Her baby boy is being homeschooled today, so now she's a homeschool mom again with me. I'm so excited. So now during the day when she calls and there's kids screaming, I'll call and maybe she'll have a kid screaming. Maybe. All right, go ahead.
So I'm Kelly, and I blog at 3boysandadog.com. I've been blogging since November 2006. I blog about homeschooling and homemaking tips for busy folks. And as Crystal just said, I pulled my youngest out of the public school system on Friday. And today we started homeschooling. Oh my gosh. I've forgotten. It's been so long since I homeschooled that I had forgotten, how hard it is. But Thomas is the baby. And Thomas needs like 24/7 attention. So I'm already exhausted, and it's only 10 o'clock. So, I mean, look at me. My hair, I'm like, oh, we're going to start in 9 minutes. Let me run wash my hair real quick. I have no makeup on. I have books everywhere. So not only am I homeschooling Thomas, but I'm building my own curriculum. I'm so stupid. Anyway.
It'll be perfect.
So you'll see some of that stuff. You'll see my lesson plans on my website soon. Anyway, and I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything all morning, so I'm trying to eat some cinnamon life.
I love cinnamon life. Yummy, yummy. All right. So, were you going to say something else, Kelly? Nope. Okay. So, seriously, it's been a long time since we have talked about Twitter, and it is something that we need to talk about. I'll tell you, it is not the platform that I use the most, but it is a platform that you need to be available on, and you need to be in the loop on, and you need to be using it. I've been really focusing a lot of my attention to Facebook because I am really trying to figure out these algorithms and growing my reach over there, and then Pinterest is something that I also use daily, and I use Instagram pretty often. Twitter is not a place that I use daily, but I do use it. Well, I have some things set up so that, for example, my WordPress template, automatically, whenever I have a new post, that post automatically gets shared on Twitter. So I do have at least one thing being done once a day on Twitter. But I am just as guilty as others of getting in this rut where the only time I'm using Twitter is if I'm doing a Twitter party or if I have a Twitter campaign that I'm working on or something. So we don't want to do that. We do need to be available and present over there. And I will tell you that that is a great place to network with other bloggers and to connect with brands. The brands are over there. So if you are not familiar with Twitter, now is the time to come to terms with the fact that you need to be doing that. Kelly, are you fixing to screen share something with us? You muted yourself? Well, I want you for a minute to tell us. You used to, Twitter was your number one, you do get referral traffic from Twitter. You are, that's one of your, or has been in the past, one of your strongest communities. So talk about that with us. What, for a new blogger, what are your pointers and how are you using Twitter right now?
Okay, so yeah, Twitter used to be like my number one. By the way, guys, the VIP forum is back live, so
cool.
Okay, it's not anymore. I don't focus as much time on Twitter as I used to. I don't have as much of a presence over there as I used to. I've just gotten so busy, and Pinterest came along and, you know, just blew everything else out of the water. But I still try to keep some presence because, you know, I'm sorry, I have cinnamon life everywhere. So, you know, things fluctuate, things change. I mean, right now, like my number 3 traffic referral right now is StumbleUpon.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I never want to forsake Twitter because I have a feeling it's going to come back. I mean, StumbleUpon died for me, and now it's come back. So, one of the things that I do, so because I'm not spending as much time on Twitter, I needed some automated things to happen over there, so it makes it look like I'm still spending time there. Okay, so one of the things that I did was I went in and set up my automated things. So I set up Twitter feed, and Twitter feed automatically sends a whole bunch of different posts from my tribe mates, from my blog, from craft, from other blogs that I really like. So it automatically tweets the way I have it set up, these posts. So that gives me some presence. And then I have it set up to automatically tweet anything that I post to my Facebook fan page. So when I'm working on Facebook pretty hard, all that stuff goes out on Twitter as well. So again, it keeps me there as a presence. It's been summer, so I've really spent even less time, but write all this down, guys. When I watch my shows, I tweet. I keep my phone right there. When it has this little hashtag, I tweet. I tweet whatever it is, I use the hashtag. My Instagram, any Instagram photo I ever do goes to my Twitter. So those are just ways where I'm not actually logging into Twitter per se, except for if I watch any of my shows. But it is ways that I'm keeping a presence over there.
Right. And that's something to think about is when you are, I'm going to screen share and show them Twitter feed, but that's definitely something to think about. When you are watching Duck Dynasty or the American Music Country Awards or whatever, or whatever it is that you're watching and there's a hashtag, you absolutely want to take that opportunity to have some activity going on Twitter and engage in some conversations and find, you know, one easy thing to do is just to search that hashtag and find other people that you want to talk to that are also talking about that hashtag. But just, you know, while you're watching it, you know, whoever, can't believe Brad Paisley did whatever. And then you're going to start getting some interaction. And it's just like any other social media platform. Somebody was asking the other day, how do we increase our StumbleUpon? How do we increase our Pinterest? It's the same thing. You have to be active in order to grow. If you are just, and that activity doesn't have to be, you totally can have some of this stuff manual or automatically going out. It doesn't have to be all manual. But having some activity is something that you're going to have to do. But we've got some tips and tricks for you for that stuff too. But really quickly, I want to show you Twitter feed. I've got it screen shared right now. And hold on, let me change my screen here. All right, so I immediately, and some of these that are listed in here are people that have been in here forever and ever and ever, but over the course of time, the different people that have been in my tribe, when I start building a tribe with you, I go in and
No, your stuff isn't set up.
Do what?
Your stuff isn't set up. So you're not actually tweeting anything.
No, it is.
No, connect to service. It's not publishing to anything.
I think right now I'm having an issue, Kelly, because I can't even get into, I'm having a connection issue of some sort.
Okay.
Because I can't get into just Unfollow. There's something going on. This computer did an update. I never use it except for whenever we're doing these hangouts, this laptop. And anyway, so it's really easy to go in and create a feed, and you put in their feed name. So one of the first things that I suggest that you do is go in, and the people that you consider your tribe that you're working with, go in and find their feed and add them. So, Kelly, what is your feed name? Kelly?
But if they go in and they watch the very first hangout, we walk them through step by step exactly how to set up Twitter feed.
Right. Exactly. So go in there and you can, and so what happens is basically anytime that person is tweeting, you can retweet their tweets. Like Kelly said, if there's a brand that you love working with or that you really want to notice you, go in and retweet everything that they're tweeting, and this is a way to automatically do it. So it helps you build a relationship, but it also helps you have current content going out on Twitter where you're not having to go in and manually do it all yourself. What were you going to say, Kelly?
Okay, guys, so Crystal misspoke. You're not going to automatically share you're not going to retweet their tweets. You're going to tweet their feed, their blog feed. Okay? So you're going to go in and get their blog RSS, and then that's going to tweet the post that they do. Does that make sense?
Sorry, you're right.
You're okay.
Sorry. Yeah, so that's what, and that's what we've done when we work with, when we build a tribe or when we're working with people, that's exactly what we do. We go in and add their feed, and then it starts tweeting. So when they have a new blog post, and usually they're tweeting that as well, but then you're tweeting and promoting their new blog post. So, because again, you want to remember that you don't want for your activity on a social media platform to be you just promoting you. It needs to be, 70-30, 80-20, something like that, where you are promoting other people and promoting yourself. But nobody wants to just open, that's a big complaint. When people say, why did you unfollow? That's one of the reasons that people unfollow. They get tired of you just talking about yourself. So this is a great way to do that. What were you going to say, Kelly?
Yeah. No, I was answering Kat, letting her know that the forum was back up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anything else that you want to add about Twitter feed?
So make yourself a note. Number one, you want to go in and set up Twitter feed and pay attention, because you can put in hashtags so that a hashtag is automatically added. You can go in and you can make sure that it says retweet and put their user ID at the front. So for every blog post that Crystal does, my Twitter automatically promotes it, but it says RT:@Crystal&Comp, and then it has her blog.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like I'm retweeting her tweet, but I'm really not. So that, just pay attention. Every time I do recipes from Kraft that go out through my Twitter feed, or I did. I actually need to get in there and make sure everything's still working. And it says at the end of it, it has hashtag recipes. because I'm just doing crafts, brand new recipes. And I only do it, I think it's like once a day. I think it might be twice a day. It might be every 12 hours. But you can set up your time about how often you want it to tweet out. What else, Crystal? There's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's advanced settings. So you go into the advanced settings and it'll check, like you can set your frequency for how often you want it to check for new posts, and go in and include different things. You can shorten the link to make it a bit.ly link or any other kind of link that you want it to do. There's a lot of, you can filter keywords. There's a lot of customizing that you can do. So just, if you will go and watch that first video that we did, we dive into all of that in that video. And then if you still have questions, let us know. But it really is a pretty easy program to get the hang of and to utilize and use. It really is.
All right, so let's talk numbers.
Okay.
So again, if you go back to the first video, we walk you through how to grow your Twitter using just unfollow. I highly suggest you do that. You go in and find people that are in your niche, and you start following the people that follow them.
It's called copying followers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you write nothing but recipes, then you're going to go in and find some other bloggers, some brands, whatever, that are strictly about recipes, and follow the people that follow them in the hopes that those people are going to follow you back, okay? Because they're obviously interested in recipes, or they wouldn't be following the recipe folks. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, number one, set up your Twitter feed to start pushing out some content. And number two, start increasing your followers. And I go about, when I do them, and I haven't in a couple weeks now, but I usually go in and I unfollow about 200 people that are not following me or that have not been active in the past 6 months.
Okay, but hold on one second. You do not want to do this if you just created a brand new Twitter account. You do not want to go in and do that many people. If you have not been active on Twitter in a while, you do not want to go in and do that many people at a time. Because they will call that, I think it's called, well, there's a word, I think they call it abusive follow and unfollow. So you want to start off, if you are brand new to Twitter, or if it's been a while since you've used your account, I suggest you only do follow 25 new people, wait 2 or 3 days, go back in and unfollow who hasn't followed you, and then wait, and then you can follow some new people, and then wait 2 or 3 days and unfollow. Follow that for a week or two, just doing 25 at a time. Then you can bump it up to 100, again, waiting a few days, and then unfollow who hasn't followed you, and then follow 100 new people. Follow that routine for another week or two, and then you should be fine to do 200 at a time. But just be careful, because they will, Twitter will say that you're abusing the follow and unfollow, that you're following and unfollowing too many. So just be very careful and mindful. Go ahead.
And one thing you need to keep in mind is that you want to get to a point where the number of people following you is much higher than the number of people you follow. So what I do, okay, so yeah, I do a whole lot more for my account, but let's back up and talk about when I do it for other people. So I go in and I see how many followers they have compared to how many people they follow. And if they follow like 1,000 people and they only have 250 followers, then the first thing, as Crystal said, the 25. So the first thing that I go in and do is I go in and I unfollow 25 people, okay? And then I follow 20 new ones. So I follow less every single time I go in and I follow less people than I unfollow. Does that make sense? So if I unfollow 100, I'm going to go in and follow 90 or 95 or whatever. And I keep doing that until I get to a point where there are more people following than I follow.
Yep.
And then I start doing it more evenly.
Yep. That's right. And I was going to show you guys what unfollow looks like. and it was down for me. But Kelly, you said you could get in.
Yeah.
You may have to screen share. I'd like for them to see what it looks like. Let me see if I can get in. Yeah, it's telling me transaction failed to commit. Could not update user, huh?
All right, so I'm screen sharing. If you want to put me in a big box.
You are.
Okay. So first of all, I come in here and it says you are following 195 users who aren't following back. So I don't tweet that. I do not want to tweet that. You just push the button.
Yeah, I don't tweet that either.
Super simple. Rude. And you can watch. Oh, hold on. Because I'm in. There we go. So you can watch right up here, and it tells you how many people you're unfollowing. And I just click, 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 like crazy. And watch that number up there. See how easy that is?
And the great thing about this program is you don't even have to move your cursor or your mouse. You just sit there and it automatically moves, the feed moves with you. So you're not even having to really move your mouse. You are literally just clicking, 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 clicking. It's so easy, and it doesn't take a lot of time.
All right, so dum, da, da, dum. Done. I just unfollowed 193 people. That quick. So then you can go into copy followers, or you can go into keyword follow. Either one. So I could go to keyword follow, and I want to do that didn't give me a whole lot, but so for example, if you're going to blog her, so we would go in and we would do blog her 2014. I don't know what the hashtag actually is. So all the people that are talking about blog her 2014 will show up down here. So I can follow all those people, or maybe I write about homeschooling. With that, all the people that are using the homeschooling hashtag are going to show up down here. And I can just click, 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 click. And every once in a while I find that I actually follow some spammy people. But as I'm going through my Twitter, when they show up, I just unfollow them. You know, as I'm going through my Hootsuite. That's it. And you push the little plus, and now I'm following all these people.
And so, and what I like to do is I will go in, see where it says copy followers, and then in parentheses it says grow. So I will go in and a blogger that's in my niche, so like Tip Junkie or Three Boys and a Dog or what have you, and I will go in and you just follow. But starting off, guys, do not do more than 25 at a time. You need to take this slow. But then once you get built to once you are using this application for, a 2 or 3 week period of time, then you'll get quicker growth. But just be mindful of that. You do not want to be accused of abusing following people. Go ahead.
So when I am actively working on growing my Twitter, so if I know I have some Twitter parties that are coming through the pipeline, then I go work on my Twitter pretty actively.
Uh-huh.
And so what I do is every about 48 hours, that's me. About every 48 hours, I go in and I unfollow some and refollow some.
Mm-hmm.
Follow some new ones. every other day, every 3 days, something like that.
And you're really only unfollowing who's not following you. And
show that one.
Huh?
And let me go show that other one. Hold on. So
it's a really easy to use platform. It really is.
You can also see right here where it says inactive following.
Mm-hmm. So those are people you can choose who hasn't been active in the last month, 3 months, 9 months. Yeah.
No, 1, 3, or 6.
Yeah, I think you used to do 9 months.
And then you just unfollow them as well. So that's probably, if you're just getting started, I think that's the first thing I would do is go in and see who's inactive that you're following. And I usually just leave it at 1 month.
Mm-hmm. So, and if you are really wanting to grow your Twitter, this is a great way to do it. This is how I grew, and this is how you grew too, Kelly. I mean,
Yeah.
I had I had 2,000 followers, I don't know, 4 years ago, and then grew it to 5,000, 8,000, like it just kept growing and growing and growing. And I've been at 18,000 for a long time because I have so many other things going on that I don't go in here and utilize just Unfollow like I used to. Now you can use it for Instagram, and it works the same way.
So one thing I wanted to say real quick about the inactive following and just unfollow.
Uh-huh.
If there's someone or any of this, the people that aren't following you but that you want to keep following, if you look right underneath all this information, it says whitelist.
Right.
So if you, for example, I follow Kraft. Kraft might or might not follow me back. I don't know. So I've whitelisted them so they won't keep showing up as somebody that doesn't reciprocate my follow because I want to follow Kraft.
Right. You don't want to accidentally unfollow them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there's a blacklist too, so that if there's people that are foul or whatever, and you don't ever want them to show up in your follow, then just blacklist them so that you don't ever have to worry about them being a suggestion to follow. It really is. It's such an easy program to use. I love it. What do we pay, Kelly? Like $4.99 a month, I think. I mean, it's very affordable. Does that sound about right?
There are different levels, yeah. But there's a free level.
Yeah, I think the free level only lets you do 25 at a time. So if you're just starting out,
Fine.
right. Mm-hmm. If you're just starting out, that's exactly what I would do because you don't want to abuse the follow unfollow anyway. So
Yep.
That's exactly where I would start. Okay, actually, you know what? I think it's $20 a month. It is I think it's $19.99 a month.
That much.
No, I remember they went up because they have. That's what I pay because I can do like up to 5 accounts at a time. If you're just wanting to do one account, I think it's $4.99.
So the free account, I'm looking at it right now. The free account is 25 follows, so you can follow 25 people on one account, so you can only have one. But you can do 100 unfollows and 50 white or blacklist, and that's free. Then you have Pluto, and Pluto is 2 accounts. Unlimited unfollows and follows for Twitter, 10,000 whitelist and blacklist, hide previously followed users. So if you followed them and they didn't reciprocate, you can hide them so they never show up anymore. And it allows 1 team member, and that's $9.99 a month. Then you have Earth, which is 5 accounts, and 2. Everything else is done except you can remove the just unfollow branding, and you can have 2 team members, and then it just goes up from there. So I use Earth because I have several Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
With me, my husband, Zachary, and then my Instagram.
Well, and what you can do is, what I did was, when I first signed up with them, because I was paying, $19 a month or whatever, I started offering that as a service to grow people and utilize it to make money. You can do that. You know what I mean? So that's just something to think about. That was just a very short period of time, and it's just not something that I have time to do anymore.
Yeah,
but that's something to think about. Think outside the box. If you're going to have to pay for this program, then how can you use it to make money? There you go. All right, Kelly. Let's see. So we've talked about Twitter feed. We've talked about just unfollow. I was going through the questions over on Facebook because last night I said, as a blogger, how are you using Twitter, or are you? If you're not using it, I would like to know why not. And so, we're getting kind of a hodgepodge of responses from people, but that was where somebody said that they were declined to join a third-party group that would allow you to get to do sponsored posts because their Twitter wasn't active. Or because their Twitter wasn't large enough, it hadn't grown. So there you go. We've given you a resource to be able to utilize that. I'm not telling you that Twitter is the place that you need to spend all of your time, because it's like Kelly said, there are so many options for automatically tweeting this stuff and promoting this stuff. So when you're on Instagram and you can automatically send your picture to Twitter too, that's a great way to be active. There's just so many options to automate it. But just know that you need to have some sort of activity going on over there, whether, if it's manually done or automatically done. Just know that you need to have some activity over there, even if you're not going to spend all day there. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, no, I agree completely. So one thing I wanted to talk about, though, real quick, I don't get a ton of traffic. I mean, in the last month, I got like 80 visits from Twitter. But the number of brands that contact me because of my presence on Twitter, the relationships that I've built with brands because of Twitter, it's totally worth spending a few minutes every single day on Twitter. What is that dog doing? My dog is up underneath the covers, growling. Crazy. Anyway, sorry, she's being silly. So, yeah, I mean, it's quick, it's easy, and they're there. The PR folks are on Twitter. They're monitoring their brand continuously on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So you absolutely need to be there if you have any intentions of ever working with brands. And
I agree.
I don't
Susan,
mean to say, oh, yay, I want to work with you. No. You say, I'm eating the best at Lay's barbecue chips, or the whatever it is you're doing, or whatever you're thinking about. Oh my gosh, my floor is nasty. Can anyone recommend a good hashtag vacuum cleaner?
Right.
Whatever. Use it. Talk. Chit chat. Respond when a brand asks a question. Answer it.
Mm-hmm. Be active. Bring something valuable to the conversation, for sure. Susan DeBow says, so in a way it's not personal, meaning if you unfollow or follow people, it doesn't mean that you don't like them. It just means that they're not active, or not what you need to get, or not what you need to get others who are. So that's exactly right. Just because if I unfollow you, it's because you're not following me back, or because what you're promoting on your Twitter is not, if you're promoting dirty, nasty, foul, raunchy stuff, I don't want to see that, and I'm not going to follow you. But there are tons of people that are only following whoever's following them back. So, and also, if they are using just unfollow, when you unfollow them, they will get a notification that says, I was unfollowed by, it'll show them, or they can actually go into and pull up the list and see who has unfollowed them recently. And just unfollow will prompt out, would you like to tweet that so-and-so just unfollowed you, kind of thing. I don't suggest that you do any of that. That's kind of rude, in my opinion, because really, we're just trying to grow, and we're just trying to grow communities that are like-minded. So, I wouldn't call anybody out. Like when Kelly first got on and it said 194 people have followed you, or found 194 people, whatever, you could tweet that, but I would only be sharing stuff that's really going to bring value, or spark a conversation. Nothing that's going to cause anybody to be negative, because you just don't need that. Jasmine, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I lost it. Oh, I lost it. Oh, Cindy says there's also an unfollow to follow ratio of some sort. They wouldn't let me follow new people until I got more followers or deleted some I was following. Correct. You should absolutely have more people following you than you follow. And there is a ratio, and I think it's 1,000 difference. You can have as many people follow you as possible, but you can't follow. You have to stay with the ratio, but you don't want to anyway. That's why I say unfollow 25 and follow 20. Unfollow 200 and follow 175, or whatever. Keep it different.
Yeah.
All right. Beth Ann says,
Do
Can I
what?
cut you off?
Well, I can't see you. I'm on a different screen, and the volume was kind of gone for a minute. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was saying Beth Ann says, I use the Tweet Old Posts plugin on my blog and have gotten a ton of use since using it. I have used that. I don't use it anymore. The reason I don't use it anymore is because of combining my sites, and I have lots of old expired coupons that I don't want to show up. And I know, or I'm pretty sure that I can go in and say not to tweet from these categories, but I just haven't had time to set it up. But it is very good. It's a very good way to promote some of your old stuff easily.
Uh-huh. That's a great idea. I like that.
And next scripts. So we've talked about next scripts before. I see you now. We've talked about next scripts before, and next scripts actually allows you to go back into tweet some old stuff. Okay, go ahead, Crystal.
Well, poor Jasmine. I've been trying to say her name 100 times. So, earlier she said she just put dinner in the crock pot and she has her latte in hand and she's ready to watch. So she's finally happy that she's able to watch live. Hello, Jasmine. We are so happy that you're here. And I love what you shared when you said you've used Manage Flitter. I've never heard of that, but sounds good. To unfollow users before, but Just Unfollow seems to have more features. Just Unfollow does have a lot of features, and it's very. Kelly and I tested out a couple of years back. We tested out different applications that allow you to follow and unfollow, and like one of them is Twitter Stork or something, and there's different ones. And what we loved about Just Unfollow is that you're not literally when you're in there using it, you just hold your mouse and put your finger and click, 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 click. You are not having to go in and move your mouse and then rearrange and then come back up here. And it's such an easy program to use, and it has so many features. It lets you do so many different things, and now it has Instagram incorporated with that. So that's another, you use it the same way. Just go in and find other people that are in your niche and like you, or follow by way of a hashtag, whatever. It really, really, really is a great program. I've never heard of this Manage Flitter, but I'm going to look it up. Sounds interesting. Have you? Go ahead. What do you know about it?
So I also use Manage Flitter. I use it maybe once a month, once every other month or so, because one thing that Manage Flitter has that I really like that Just Unfollow does not is it pulls up all of your non-English speaking or non-English tweeting people that you follow. So as you're going through Just Unfollow and you're clicking, you're not checking out those people. And if they're tweeting in a language that I can't understand, there's no point in me following them. So I like to go into Manage Flitter, like I said, like once a month or every other month or so, and pull up those people that are not tweeting in English, so that I can unfollow them very easily. If I see them on my Twitter feed when I'm in Hootsuite, then I'll unfollow them there. But it's I could go click my little check marks and Manage Flitter and then just dump them. But so I do use it for that, and I just use the free portion, and I recommend everybody to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Something else that you need to do whenever you're on Twitter. This is a very fundamental thing, but I'm going to share it for anyone who's new there. Whenever you're on here, you need to go in and see who is talking about you, so your notifications. So if someone retweeted something of yours, or if somebody responded to something that you said, on my Facebook page for Crystal & Co., whenever I do something on Facebook, it automatically goes to Twitter. So if I ask a question, then I'll get some responses on Twitter. And I always kick myself when I forget to go check it and I see that somebody responded and said what they were having for dinner or what have you. So make sure that you're paying attention to those notifications and mentions. You can just click it to mentions, and it will show you exactly, like, these are people that have me set up in their Twitter feed. They are automatically they're automatically tweeting out what my latest blog post is. So, and I like to go in and just, like, favorite it, give it a star. That's the equivalent of liking it, so that they see that I have recognized and noticed what they're doing. And then, go in and see what they've been tweeting so that I can, maybe share something new of theirs. whatnot. But do pay attention to those mentions, because you just want to make sure that, again, you're not just out there talking, that you're actually interacting. You know, we've talked about how being authentic is so important on Google+, on Facebook, in our blog posts, on our blogs, when working with brands. It's the same thing on Twitter. You don't want to be just some empty vessel that's shouting out information and not engaging and interacting back. So just remember, those who may be new to using Twitter, make sure you're checking those mentions. All right, Kelly, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, because I use Hootsuite. I've said it several times, so I just want to do a quick. I'm getting sick, Crystal.
You sound like you don't feel good.
I just want to do a quick screen share. Okay. Am I sharing? So
it's a black screen. Yeah, it is. You're good.
Hold on. All right. So this is a list that I've set up because I don't want to see all the Twitter things that are coming through. I just want to see the people that I actually care about. So my first column is actually just a list of the people that I actually care about. And then my second column is mentions. So any mentions that come through, anytime somebody responds, retweets, asks me a question, shares something with me, I can go in, and I really like it because it makes this nice little box and lets me know what I've done. Okay?
Cool.
But it also has my direct messages, my sent. I don't know why I have 2 direct messages. So these are all the tweets that I've sent lately. So I can see what they are. See?
Mm-hmm.
This right here, it automatically tweets out when I write on my Facebook. See? It tells me right here in Hootsuite how it came. So Paperly, NextScripts, Facebook, Hootsuite. Looks like my Twitter feed isn't working. Oh, there it is. Twitter feed. You see all that. Look. All of that stuff just automatically tweeted. And I can see what tweets I have scheduled. And who has them scheduled. Questions about Hootsuite?
I don't think so. I'm going to double check.
I love Hootsuite. I can do so much there.
You know, I like Hootsuite, but I just use it for Twitter parties. I need to get into a habit of using it. Well, I do use it to schedule stuff out whenever I'm wanting to schedule a tweet, but I don't use it like you do. Okay, so Susan says, just to be clear, I should not unfollow a company that I might want to work with even if they don't follow me. Right.
Correct.
If you want to stay in touch with them and start building a rapport with them, I would add them to your white list. Sue says, idea, once a month you can set up IFTTT to tweet out a page you want attention on. What is IFTTT? Do you know, Kelly?
Maybe.
I guess I'll have to Google it. We'll come back to that. Amber Simmons says, maybe I missed it, but did you say how you can share your Instagram on Twitter? Yes, when you are using the Instagram application on your phone, so you're going in and you're editing that picture, okay? If you will scroll, it'll give you other options to share it on Facebook, to share it on Twitter. And being that Twitter is so hashtag driven, and really Instagram, while it's a picture application, it is heavily also driven with hashtags. So those two just go together so well. So you have to make sure that you've got it connected to your Twitter and to your Facebook, but just punch those options that you want it to also go over there, and it'll go to those platforms too. So easy.
Okay, so IFTTT. I think Susan actually told us about this before. It says put the internet to work for you. It seems like I might have set up an account, but I found it hard to navigate. So, yeah, you can make it if this, then this is what it's.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, well, I'm trying to sign in, but I don't remember what my sign-in stuff is.
Brain Power Boy says, is there anything special? Yeah, Barbara came on and said, if this, then that. Brain Power Boy said, is there anything special you should do if a brand follows you on Twitter? I'm excited. So go out there and say, just start a conversation. You know, let them know that you see that they're following you, and let them know that, you know, if you love a product that they have, or your family's addicted to, you know, their mayonnaise or whatever it is, then, yeah, just see if you can strike up a conversation with them. Kelly, when you got your items for your kitchen, your new oven, your fridge, and all that, didn't that come by sparking a conversation on Twitter?
Yep, absolutely started on Twitter.
Yep.
And they contacted me. So I took a picture of my refrigerator that my wonderful darling children had destroyed. They had broken like 2 shelves in it, and the drawer was like hanging like this. And so I took a picture of the inside and said, like, on the search or on the hunt for a new refrigerator, and a hashtag refrigerator. I was also doing work on the rest of the house, and I would do things like, you know, wow, the cabinet looks great, the stove, not so much, you know, just different things. I was tweeting what we were doing in the house. And then Kenmore, and I was following Kenmore, and Kenmore tweeted something, like, need a new stove. And so I retweeted it and said, ha ha, you're reading my mind, you know, whatever. And then we just kind of had this little conversation about this stove or this refrigerator or whatever. And I got an email from the folks at Kenmore that wanted to work with me. And they flew me to Chicago and showed me all their new stuff. And they gave me a refrigerator, a nice refrigerator, a professional refrigerator, not a home refrigerator. The executive series, a new stove, and a new microwave. What was it, like $6,000 worth of appliances, right? $6,000 worth of appliances. And it was all started on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Susan wants to know, in Hootsuite, can you also set up your feed for different keywords? You can search terms. So
did you not see my Learn to Blog one there? Where is it?
She asked the question 5 minutes ago, so it could be.
Am I screen sharing? Okay. So if you see this one right here, this is a search. I added this search stream right here where it says Learn to Blog. See it? The third one? So all you do is you click Add a Stream, and then you can choose which one of these you want to be viewing. So I'm going to go with Twitter, and then I'm going to go with Search. I'm going to select my profile, and I'm going to enter my search query. Add stream. Ta-da! There it is. See?
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Sarah says she loves If This Then That. It's like a digital recipe automation tool. That's pretty cool. Cassie says that she's been seeing new ways to use Hootsuite. She just started using it this summer. So I guess by you sharing your Hootsuite, she's seeing new ways to use it. All right, guys. Are there any final questions at all about utilizing Twitter as a blogger? Because it really is. Don't think that it's dead. Because while it may not be sending us tons of traffic anymore, remember there are cycles in all of this, and who knows what Twitter's going to look like a year from now or a couple of years from now. But just don't give up on it, and know that you need to have a presence there, because the search engines do want to see that you are active on all platforms, on all social media communities. They're checking that. So you do want to have, you want to have a community there because you don't want someone else taking your brand. If you haven't at least secured your brand name over there, you need to do that ASAP, because you don't want someone else going and getting Crystal and Comp because you didn't grab it. So you need to get it, and then you need to start using it. And even if it's just little baby steps, you need to do it. Are you going to show us something, Kelly?
Yeah, okay. So I'm sure you've seen blog posts where it looks like a Twitter tweet inside the post that somebody else has tweeted. It looks like a picture. So the way you do that is you go to the tweet that you want. You see how it has the little dots that say more, and you click embed tweet, okay? But you can also now pin tweets to your profile page so that people see that automatically, just like you pin to the top of a group page on Facebook. Again, the three little dots for more, and you click pin to your profile page. This will replace any previously pinned tweet. Are you sure? Yes, pin it. So I'm going to view it, and that keeps that tweet at the very top. See?
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
I lost my place. Here we go. She said, I said you can set it up. I already know it. I was just sharing.
Okay, so, all right, it looks like, I mean, really, over on our Facebook page for Learn to Blog, it was just a lot of, you know, back and forth, people sharing what they're doing, why they're not using it, knowing that they need to use it. So there's really, everything that we've covered has answered any questions that were over there. And your questions that you guys had today, it looks like we've covered all of those from the event page. My other suggestion is to go in and watch our very first video, which was about Twitter, and just apply the things that we've shared. Anything else that you want to add, Kelly?
Class.
Oh, yes. We have our next Learn to Blog class, which is a 4-week program. It starts next Monday. We've had, I don't know how many people go through our class, Kelly, about 40 or so. We keep the classes pretty small. Maybe we've had closer to 50 people go through the class. But it starts next Monday, and it's at 10 a.m. Central Time, just like our Hangout, same time, just different day. The class is done over on AnyMeeting, so it's kind of sort of like our Google Hangouts. You're able to ask us questions. We cover 4 basic topics that all build on top of each other. We have not had any person complain to us about our class. Every person that has taken our class comes out and says, you know, I've seen this much growth, I've seen this much. I mean, even if you have been blogging for 2 or 3 years, you're going to learn, we teach you a new way to look at your analytics, how to be deliberate, how to look at your webmaster tools, how to create content based on the content that Google's already sending you traffic for. So you will see growth. If you implement our method, you will see growth. So we still have a couple of spots left for that class that starts next week. If you go to the learntobloghangouts.com website and click online class, it'll tell you exactly what we cover, and then there's a place to apply. So some of the qualifications are you do need to be on WordPress, because a lot of the things that we're teaching you are specific to WordPress accounts that Blogger doesn't have. Your site does need to be 3 months old or longer, or older, because we're taking the content that Google is already indexing you for and growing with that. So we have a couple of spots left if anybody wants to be a part of that. If you have any questions, let us know. You can ask the questions over on Facebook or email them to us. Let us know if there's anything that we can elaborate on. Anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. All right, guys. So awesome hangout today. I hope that we've shared something with you that you can implement and learn with. Go and do something amazing and great on your blog. Otherwise, we will see you over on the forum through the week, helping you grow. Learn to Blog Hangouts with an s.com/VIP. And let us know how we can help you guys. Let us know if you've got some topic suggestions for upcoming Hangouts. Somebody suggested they want to see analytics from Pinterest. What?
Yeah, somebody had a quick question about how to put a picture. So I just want to show you real quick in Hootsuite.
Okay.
All right, so this is Hootsuite. Am I in the big box?
Yes.
So when you compose your message, I don't remember how to do it. Crud. Oh, right here. Okay. So you write your message. You can add a link, and it automatically shrinks it, or you can hit this little paper clip right here, and you can attach a file or an image. Simple, simple. In Twitter, I don't have Twitter pulled up. Hold, please.
Hold, please.
In Twitter, I never use Twitter, so I don't know. Right here. Okay, so when you click to type, there's a little camera. That's how you add your picture. Super simple.
Easy. Super easy.
All right.
There you go. All right, guys. Is that it, Kelly?
That's it.
Okay. Y'all have an awesome day. Today, we start a new year of homeschooling. So as soon as I get off here, that's what I'm going to do. Kelly, you have a great day with Thomas. I'm excited for y'all.
Yeah, we've already put 2 hours in, so we're just about done.
Good deal. Good deal. We have an exciting day ahead of us. My kids were saying last week, can we do 7 hours each day? I said, sure. And then by the other day it was, can we do 5 hours each day? Sure. Then last night they go, can we just have a couple more days before we get started? They're so funny. So we're starting today. Anyway, all right, guys.
Today and our week is, this week we're really taking it slow. So, you know, he only had, very few things to do today. He's just dragging. So it's taking a long time, but.
And he's loving spending time with you, I'm sure. It's such a good thing. I'm so happy for you. All right, guys. Y'all have an awesome week. See you later. Let us know if you have any questions. Bye.
Bye.